Hi, I'm John Kelly. I'm a truck accident lawyer based out of Phoenix, Arizona. I handle truck accident cases, oftentimes throughout the valley of Phoenix, but also elsewhere in different states. And I want to talk to you about flatbed trucks today because they're very unique in truck accidents. So anytime there's a semi-truck that has a flatbed trailer, they have certain requirements for how they handle their cases. And we're going to talk about what they're worth. Basically, you understand that anytime a corporation owns a truck, they're going to typically have a commercial policy. So a commercial policy is involved. Your case is now worth maybe more than it was because it doesn't have a limiting factor of an insurance policy that's small. Where sometimes we have, auto accidents that there only is $25,000 or $50,000 available in that insurance policy through Geico or Progressive or whatever the insurance policy. Well, any truck, flatbed truck, is going to have a commercial policy because these are typically owned by corporations. These policies, although they may be the same companies insuring them, are going to have much bigger policies, $1 million, sometimes $5 million or up. So what your claim is worth is probably going to be tied to just what your injuries are. And if you're severely injured in a case with a truck, you definitely are going to have the chance to recover potentially millions depending on your injuries. So when I look at flatbeds as specific to a truck accident, that brings up a lot of unique circumstances that we want to look at. Flatbed trucks have large trailers and they typically hold different loads, and what you want to look at is where that load was placed on the trailer, how big the load was, what was the weight, was it secured properly to a flatbed? Because an enclosed cargo is going to handle much differently and have different regulations for it than a flatbed truck. How was it secured to the bed? What was the tire pressure that was related to the weight of what was on that flatbed? Was the driver properly trained to go around the trailer to make sure that it was secured properly, to make sure that there's no outstanding issues? If you've been injured by one of these trucks, I can almost certainly say that there's going to be some very specific facts that we're going to want to look at. And I have a team in my law firm that is set up for this kind of case. So a lot of law firms, aren't really set up to do truck accident cases. My law firm focuses on these, and what we can do is send an investigator. We actually go to the scene. Sometimes we do accident reconstruction. We track down additional witnesses. But importantly, we look at the physical evidence that was there. And we look at the flatbed. We inspect the trailer. We look at the tire pressures. We get the black box from the truck. These are things that are very important to establishing a good claim so that you can go forward and actually have a chance against a big corporation like a trucking company. It's no secret that these trucking companies hire law firms that all defend their cases. They want to pay out as less as possible, really. They're trying to minimize the injuries. They're trying to minimize their negligence. So you need a team to go back and hopefully overcome that. Now, you're going to have the options as an injured client. Do you want to go the distance all the way to trial and maybe recover more than you typically would if you tried to settle a little bit earlier? Whether it's worth $1 million early and $5 million at trial, that could be a possibility. But then you always have the risk factor of trial because there's jurors and you have to convince them of your theory of your case and your injuries and negligence. These are things that we look at the Kelly Law Team. I'm happy to brainstorm. I can start from the beginning, just go over the simple facts, understand it, and if we're a good fit to work together, I can put together a team for you. You can reach us at Kelly Law Team at 602-283-4122.